thing I would say is like the Spanish words. I mean, what's the difference between like looking up a bunch of Spanish words you don't know, or from 1984 looking up like big words that you don't know?
I feel that takes away from what's actually happening in the book, because you focus on what's happening in the book and then you have to go look up a word. It takes the focus away from what's happening. But when I picked up this book and read it, I felt that okay, maybe this book can help me learn some more Spanish. But I think that the reason that the way I'm not connecting to it is because I don't know all of the Spanish traditions and everything that's going on. That's probably why I'm not connecting to it as you all are.
See,
Well,
that was the answer that I was personally looking for.
Yeah.
Not that, it has inappropriate material. It was just that it's because of the cultures that you're not used to, that's why you don't like the book so far.
See, that's a better explanation. Okay, now we can go to Diamond.
And also, like, adding up what he said, even though you can't, like, relate to it, you learn something new about the book, and, like, you learn, like, oh, they do this, I can, like, learn something new from it.
So instead of, like I understand that you probably don't get it as much because it's not your culture, but just look at it as a way to learn a new culture, and then maybe you'll like it more.
And then as a reader, like, you can't be lazy about it. You gotta look this stuff up, even if you don't feel like it. Like, keep a Spanish-English dictionary next to you, like, go online.
And like, Paul, you're like a great reader. If I like, you could go through the book, and and like, I know you'll understand the context. So you, by reading clearly, you will get a better understanding of the material. Like I told you, you could contact me. You, Amairani, Christian, you have all of us to like give you a better explanation of the book.
I think we could start on questions.
But we forgot to ask how they felt about that.
No, everybody said everything.
Well, my question is like, where do you guys think the title came from? Like, I see the chapter that we were supposed to read called Drown, but I don't really see how it relates to this entire book. Well, the first part as a whole.
Well, I think it meant that, like, in every situation, like, they didn't, like, finish the whole story. They, like, stayed to the part that they felt, that they wished that had happened. So I think it means that you're trying to, like, that people are drowning, like, they're feeling bad about what is happening, and they're trying to get back up, and like that is their dream, but they haven't reached it. I think that's why it's called Drown.
I actually I had a similar question to yours. Like, how does that story relate to the title? And like, I agree with you. At first, I didn't really understand why I knew, because basically from those books that we read, the title always pops up in passage. So I was actually surprised to see a whole story named Drown. And I agree just with what Amirani said about how, like, they didn't finish the whole story, but like, they're gonna come back to it at the end, and they're just trying to like let things out, so that's how they feel like they're drowning.
My initial thought was like, he's drowning in all this bad stuff that is happening to him.
But then again, it's two different people from two different point of view. It's because
It's the little boy and the older one.
I thought it was the same guy, just making recalls from when he was younger and then stuff that's happening more recently.
I don't think so.
That's exactly what I thought, like about Diamond, like the same narrator all along. Like started when he was little and it went as he grew up. And like my first thought about the book, because of the name and because of the title and because of like the little bubbles, I didn't even open it, and I thought like somebody was drowning, like literally drowning. But then like I opened it and started reading it, and like Josh and Mairani said, it's like he's drowning in like this flood of emotions.
That's exactly what I thought was happening, because when everything was happening in the book, I felt that What he was trying to say, or what he told, it was always him feeling bad. Like when he was throwing up in the car, like he felt always by himself and his mother tried to comfort him. Or with the party, it was always something bad happening with him and his father. Or like with his brother, his brother would always like make fun of him and say bad things to him, things like that.
So you guys think that who thinks that most of the stories are just one person and not from like different characters in one story?
I don't know for sure. I think, because I know one or two stories are connected only because like the names are re-mentioned.
Yeah.
The
Or
same
it's like
names,
by the
and then
same
they're like.
place.
But then there's also these two stories I think that were here that did really had nothing to do with the characters from the beginning. So I don't know. I think there's more to it. Right now I can't figure it out. I don't know if anybody
I
else.
think
Yeah.
like as we progress through the book, we'll be able to tell like after a few more chapters. I mean, by next time we talk about the book, we'll definitely.
I think so.
And the reason that I don't think it's like what Diamond said, that it's people going back, is because that like in in like there's a chapter named Aurora where he's like a teenager, and then he goes back to a 9-year-old. So I don't think it's really going in that sequence.
It's not like, I don't think it's going in order, but he's like, his thoughts aren't really all that organized. Like he's saying something happened at this time. Now something that probably relates to that relates. It's like basically he's not telling his entire life story like a normal biography in chronological order. Like he's just telling random like little stories that happened in his life.
That's what I was starting to think, but then he goes like when he was 9 years old that he didn't have his dad there, but then I think I don't remember which story that he was